Hi, good evening, fam. Welcome to another episode of
Hello.
Merge Minis. All right. Well, we're going to get right into it this evening. We have a situation that's developing. We understand that the Senator Laurel Lazama Leasing, is it Karina?
Yes, Laurel Azama Leasing.
Laurel Lazama Leasing, she resigned from her post as Senator in the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago due to the protection order that was filed against her by her husband.
Yes.
We want to just delve into that. This is a husband and wife relationship taking place, and we're seeing that it had an effect on her job as a senator.
Yeah.
So much so that she resigned. Karina, a private matter, a marital matter, causing you to resign your job. I mean, some may say, yes, she's a public political figure, etc.
Public face.
But I understand that this matter is still to be heard by the courts, etc. Do you think she should have resigned based upon a private civil matter?
To tell you the truth, I really do not know. Right? So if you have a perspective on this situation that is still developing, put it in the chat. We want to hear from you. We want to hear, yes, you think she should have resigned. She did the right thing, to save face. She's a public figure. Or do you think that it's a private matter? She should have retained her position and let the courts take their ruling, and then after that she could have probably decided what course of action she would have taken. Anyway, true. But what we're really trying to get at is that, as you rightly said, it was a marital situation that shot into the social media spotlight. I think it was with some blogger or something like that. It shot into the social media spotlight and it magnified, amplified the entire situation, blew it, I don't want to say out of proportion, but blew it up, right? It was like those little miniature balloons. It blew it up into a huge air balloon. And now this is the situation at hand. So we want to show how social media really amplifies personal issues.
Because the reality of it, Karina, and to all of our viewers, is that sometimes these little issues, or let me just say little because I don't know the situation, but sometimes these issues would not have led to the consequences that in terms of her resigning from her job if it didn't go on social media. I'm wondering if Laurel Lazama Leasing as senator, if this didn't hit social media and become waves across Trinidad, but it remained within the confidence of the family unit, if it would have led to her resignation.
Yeah, and the same could be said of our good old friend that we spoke at length about last week,
Terrence.
That's the man.
I don't know the status on Terrence. Guys, if you know if he still is working, if he's on leave, I don't know what is his situation.
No, I mean how the video, it was not meant to be on social media. That's what the lawyer's lawyer letter said. It wasn't meant for public dissemination, and it came out into the public, and then this whole fiasco, Terrence Gate happened, and consequentially, he had to face not just the direct players involved, his wife, Shania, this one, but the entire trend. We're gonna think it went international.
Yes, it did.
So we're looking at how social media can amplify and magnify issues that may have or should have stayed personal or with the court and stuff like that. It amplifies it and puts so much more pressure.
Yeah. So I want to take a controversial stance and say I don't think Miss Laurel Lazama Leasing, plenty else there.
It's
Laurel Lazama Leasing.
It's alliteration.
Yeah, I want to take a controversial stance and say I don't think she should have resigned.
Okay.
I think it was a civil matter that in terms of she didn't get an opportunity yet to go before the courts and defend herself in the matter. And I think we should have held out until at least, unless she herself felt that, I don't want to go into that aspect of things. But I think that sometimes social media and the media generally can put spotlight on some issues that can really 10x it, sometimes 100x it, and blow it up so big that it is damaging, deleterious, it is impactful upon the individual. And so we want to share this evening because
not just the individual, right, but also the unit that they are part of, or if perchance it had any little chance of them reconciling or resolving, or they are trying to,
it becomes so much harder.
Live amicably. The pressure that you get from the outside, it seems almost, insurmountable. That's what I just wanted to put in there.
And that's why we wanted to highlight this evening, simply because while we may not be, and by we I mean all of us viewing here together, may not be political figures, or we may not be big business moguls that have reputations that can impact us, our jobs and stuff. The reality of it is that all of us on social media, you're here viewing, right? So you're here viewing, you're on social media, and the truth is that when your personal business comes onto social media, oftentimes it multiplies the damage and it multiplies the challenges in terms of doing damage control. And so I want to submit to us this evening, in terms of our relationships, there's a space for everything. I know some people say, well, social media is a place that we come to vent and all that kind of thing. But remember, an arrow shot cannot be taken back.
Yes.
And people will screenshot your posts now.
It's true.
You think you delete it?
That is very true, because I remember looking at an organization, right? And I went on a page to see something, and I saw somebody was slandering the persons in the organization, and I screenshotted it because I was doing some work around that thing. And
remind me of business.
And when I went to check back, it was deleted.
But you already had
But I already had the evidence. So it's just like an arrow shot. What you put out there, don't mind that you may have deleted it. Someone, if they find that it could be good fuel, ammunition, they can screenshot it.
And so the same thing that works out in the relationships of persons like Terrence and persons like Laurel, Elizama, Leasing, and many other persons around the globe, the same thing applies to your relationship and your life. If you have a challenge, if you have a concern, there's a place to address it. We recommend that you seek professional counseling, and I want to stress professional Christian counseling. And because just incidentally tonight in worship we are dealing with, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. And so I want to stress that as well. But we want to just let you know, don't put your business in terms of your relationships, your intimate matters on social media, because it becomes so much harder to fix it. This one get involved, that one get involved, the social media pressures.
And people, all of a sudden, the public, judge, jury, and executioner. So they sentence you one time. And they make up a whole lot of hurtful things that if you are in a vulnerable position, because what would have been posted, it can actually spiral you into a worse emotional situation and state, and that it might even hinder you from dealing with the challenge that you are having at the moment. So that's another way. Yes, you may want to vent, but appropriateness, I don't think that would be the appropriate platform to do that. So always be careful of those things.
I think it makes a bad situation worse. And we end up with compounding issues. And so if you had an issue here first, and you share it on social media, you have another issue. And you have a lot of people now to manage, a lot of damage control. And unfortunately, sometimes this whole whirlwind of situations and pressures force us to make decisions that we would not have otherwise made if it was just Karina and I dealing with this matter just between the two of us.
I agree.
So that's it, that's all we have to say tonight.
Just some words of wisdom.
So God bless you all. Remember to keep your intimacy stuff, your intimate stuff in between the two of you. And God continue to richly bless you all. Have a good night. Remember to tune in next week again on the Merge Minis. Goodbye.
Good night.